All praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the hopeful elect that's fighting a good fight of faith and truth, and sincerity and wholeheartedly. Shalom to the Akwath, which is the women believers. Shalom to you. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So, this is a piece of the secret counsel of the wicked. And, I want to talk about the lesser luminaries, especially of our people, aka known as celebrities, idols, and how the elite use them to push forth their agenda. And the scripture said, never trust thy enemy in Ecclesiasticus 12:10. So our people is in for a rude awakening because you made a covenant with death.
It's pretty simple if you think about it. To control the population, you have to control the people messaging the population. Some of these stars have 20, 30 million followers. That's more followers than CNN, Fox, ABC, NBC. These people have to be controlled. They can't just go off a message and start saying whatever they want to say.
And that's where when you try to tell a person, because the scripture talks about the natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit, right? So you try to tell a natural man, the man that's on the outside of this thing, about what really goes on in this world, they'll look at you like you got 8 heads. Also, they would throw that term out there, conspiracy theory. All right. So the thing is these people that are people and people in general worship are controlled. They can't say what they want to say. They can't do what they want to do. Remember, Esau Edom, all he have is his money. He have his money and his sword. That's it. Okay? So, for you to have a piece of his pie, the crumbs that he's going to give you, you're going to have to bow down to his decrees. So, what he would do, he would set up a person, Israelites, for the most part, with charisma, with a following, and he would show him a bag. Okay, you know what that bag consists of? Some money. And guess what? Now you have sold your soul. Let's get that real quick. It said, for what is a man profit if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? So what end up happening is that you cast away all your morals for a piece of paper, for you to have a better life. And you thinking by doing that you're going to be able to escape judgment or have a good life to the point that you never have to feel any sorrow, where you are about to wake up. Now, the reason I'm even making this video is that these are the times that we are approaching where the Lord is about to turn things right side up. He's literally about the people who's been, balling out, having fun, living it up, turning up. They're about to be in a state of mourning. And the ones who's been afflicted, chastened of the Lord, that we don't be judged with the world, is about to be rejoicing. But these people that people look up to and desire, they're nothing but lesser luminaries. As a matter of fact, I looked up the definition. I didn't even know they even had a definition. But you see the highlighted part, obviously the lesser luminary is the moon, because it's a lesser light than the sun. So it said less significant figures. So that means that if this devil can use you, and the reason that you are a less significant figure is because they know that you don't know what they know, but you are controlled and they're telling you what to reveal unto the people, what to say unto the people. All right, because the higher ups is not going to tell even their own people that's a celebrity about their actual agenda, but you're going to push my agenda though. And really, what is the agenda that the lesser luminaries push? Godlessness. That's literally what it is. To go after yourself. I mean, the trust in yourself, trust in money, and the trust in the system, trust in the Hollywood. Cause they basically painting a picture for you that, hey, if you could sing, you could dance, you could rap, whatever, or you just meet the right people, you could be just like me. They're not teaching you to come to the Lord. So it said less significant figures, spiritual insights, or even sources of lesser knowledge, delusion compared to ultimate truth. See? So they're pushing wickedness, but they're still on a low level because they basically getting taught false dreams themselves. Matter of fact, this is one of my favorite set of scriptures, man, especially when it comes to this type of topic. It said, if you would be for his prophet, he will use you, but if you would have nothing, he will forsake you. So that's literally that's why you are a lesser luminary. This is why, I can use him. I can exploit him. The scriptures talks about in Isaiah 30:12 that you trust in oppression. Okay? You trust in oppression. Not even understanding that you're oppressed. It don't matter if you got some money. You still oppressed because you can't even say or do what you want to do. And if you speak out, you get blackballed. If you say the wrong thing, you get X'd out. And I'm talking about put to death. All right? So, yeah, you're not free.
They have to be somewhat reined in. They have to be controlled, or they do not get the platform to have the voice that they have.
Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations.
So, if you be for his prophet, he will use you. But if you have nothing, he will forsake you. If you have anything, he will live with you. So they mean talent. Anything that he can exploit, he going to use it to his advantage. He will make you bear, will not be sorry for it. He's the devil. Listen, I didn't tell you to do all of this. You did this on your own, which is somewhat true. He ain't going to feel sorry for all the abominations that you had to do to get up high in society. All right? And he know that you're going to continue to keep on coming back because as I forgot, it was one of those rock stars who said that Satan always have to collect. It's not just like one sacrifice. He said in an interview, I think it was Larry King. Can't remember his name. But yeah, Satan requires sacrifices too. Like the Lord you can't just, all right, you put your hand to the plow for a couple of years and then you quit. The Lord said, if you put your hand to the plow and look back, you're not fit for the kingdom of the Most High. All right. So Satan, listen, if you want to continue to be living good, you got to continue to keep doing things. So you got left hand practices, right hand practices, right hand righteousness sacrifices, left hand wicked sacrifices. All right. So as it says in verse 6, if he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee. That's the devil for you. And put you in hope. He'll make you feel like you special. He'll make you feel like you somebody. He giving you hope that your life is going to be grand. And guess what? For a time it will be. But he will speak you fair and say, what wantest thou? Because he got it. The earth is given into his hands, right? He will shame you by his meats. That's literal and figuratively, okay? Because you're going to have to do something anyway. But his meats is his substance, okay? He know that you want that car. He know that you want that house. He know that you want that jewelry. He know that you want that money. So he gonna shame you by it. What do you think that scripture is talking about? Okay? He gonna make you do something strange for a little piece of change. And it said, until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice, knowing that you're gonna come back. You're gonna have to keep coming back doing nasty stuff. And at the last, he will laugh you to scorn. afterward, when he seeth thee, he will forsake thee and shake his head at you. Yeah, he'd be like, well, sucks to be you, buddy. All right. So you made a covenant with death.
Since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get.
And that's a fact too. I gotta go to the blue letter for that. So yeah, this devil's not about to allow anybody with any type of influence to just go out there and speak. And when they do, when a person do get the balls to speak, what end up happening? They die. So Psalm 64:1, hear my voice, O power, in my prayer, preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Because this is what all is about. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. It's levels of anything. It's the foundation of everything. And the foundation is to get people farther away from God. All right. And to bring them closer to Satan. That's the beginning stage of the secret counsel of the wicked. When you look at the world and the way that it's ran, and even the scripture says in 2 Thessalonians 2:4, he opposeth all. Okay. He exalted himself and opposeth all that is called a God. He put himself as God, call himself God. All right. So it's all about self-worship, worshiping anything but the Lord. Okay. That's the beginning stage of the secret counsel of the wicked. Now, obviously, if you a man or a woman of the Lord, you know what the ultimate counsel of the wicked is. And that is to have everybody on a grid, controlled like a damn robot, while he being God. Okay. And it's called the mark of the beast. So, who whet their tongue like a sword, bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
Bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media companies, so
they own all the big media companies, right? So all the information that you get, they control. They control both sides, even if it look like they disagree, even if it look like a person got a point. That is the bread and circus of it all. That's the political acting of it all. That is the two horns like a lamb, all right? And they come to you acting like they got your best interests at heart, but they're playing you right into their hands. Because now you are all into the right side or the left side, but they both play for the same team. Remember, it's a two wings of the same bird. So we're going to look up this word wet. I love looking up this word wet, W-H-E-T, the Hebrew word is shanan. And when you get the definition, all right, so you see that to sharpen, wet, 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 sharpen to wet, teach. That's the main point. All right, to be pierced. But then, inculcate, all right, that is to press upon your mind by repetition. That's why when you watch the news, you have something called Operation Mockingbird. All the news stations say the same things, read from the same script. Also the ideologies, which is the propaganda, to get you to think, feel, and view things a certain way. Okay? So the media is very, very important. They control that. So you think they don't control these celebrities?
Control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the ball. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. And by the way, it's the same big club they use to beat you over the head with all day long, when they tell you what to believe all day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged, and nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them.
Yep. And if I'm not mistaken, they took his ass out too. But let's get into some positivity after this scripture right here, because it's going to be an end to all of this. All of this witchcraft. But that's all it is. So because you have made a covenant, because you have said we have made a covenant with death, so these people know that they know what they're doing. They know the things that they have done. But what they end up doing, that's why most celebrities are on drugs, under the influence of something, for they can escape the things that they had to do. They lost their soul. They're literally soulless walking around. Okay? So because you have said we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. This is what you believe. Look at P. Diddy. He's been in the game for over 30 years, and now look at him. He's the face of wickedness. He was able to do all the things, because he's the gatekeeper. To get to that next level, you got to go through him. All right, but now look at him. Never trust thy enemy. You do one thing wrong, they're going to expose your ass. They got blackmail on all of y'all. All the celebrities. So probably Jay-Z might be next. So anyway, it says, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Now to jump to 18, this is what's going to happen. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, that's the devil coming in like a flood. That's the devil coming down with great wrath, because he had but a short time. Then you should be trodden down by it. You never trust the enemy. You was used and abused for his purpose. You did what you needed to do. And guess what? Now look at you. All right. So now let's go back to the Apocrypha. Get some good news now. The Wadi Yahweh Bashim Awashai, that there is a higher power that's in control of all of this. Because if it was Esau, we'll be through. He'll kill himself and everybody else. It said, if you see as though oppression of the poor and violent perverting judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter. For he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they. Okay? So it's always a hierarchy. The people that you see on TV is people that's controlling them. Okay? But then you got who's higher than they, and that's Yahweh Bashim Awashai. He control everything.
They don't care about you at all, at all, at all. And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant.
And you still see it to this day. I think this was back in the 90s, late 90s, or very early 2000s. I forgot his name. But yeah. People are still willfully ignorant. They don't care. And the thing is, the reason that most people don't care is because life is hard. And you already got enough problems. All right. So you ain't trying to dig into what's really going on. You just trying to get by day. So he keeps you oppressed. He keeps you in a worried state. And he also keep you with the hope that maybe one day a president would turn everything around. So you go up there every 4 years voting, and the same shit keep happening. It's getting worse and worse. But that's why the Lord said that blessed are your eyes, for they see. Okay?
Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
You stop for a second and you just look at the bigger picture, and you check out for a minute, and you kind of compare the ancient times to today. Well, back then they had demigods and gods. They were like Achilles, Hercules, Apollo, Mercury. All these were demigods. And that's who the people in those days looked up to. Well, today we have all these people like Jay-Z, Rihanna, Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry. In film, we have Brad Pitt, Will Smith. We have all these big stars. And the way they prop them up and they put them up on stage is like they're gods or demigods.
Well, guess what? The real power, 'cause that's all God mean in the Hebrew. Allah means power. All right. A real power is coming to the earth. Okay. So I got two more scriptures. Whew. The water for the truth for Amath. All right. But the multitude of the wise, that's the scripture when it says, when the righteous are in authority, people rejoice. And that's coming. of the world, and a wise king. All right. But the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people. So this is the time that we are approaching. All this wickedness is going to be done with. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua for that. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable, and that's Yahweh Shai. All right. And then from there is King David and the rest of the 144,000, the large multitude. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Seek ye out the Lord while he may be found. And Shalom.